Today I get to talk with Essa Adeeb. He's the resettlement case manager, and Cary Duckett, who is the founder and president of the International Welcome Center.
Yes.
How are you both today?
Doing great, thank you.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and glad to have you here on Good Morning Akron. And we are going to share a little bit about an event that's coming up.
Yeah.
But first, I want, if someone's never heard of the International Welcome Center, Cary, go ahead and just share, what do you guys do?
Sure, the International Welcome Center exists to help refugees who are resettling here in the Akron area. And we come alongside them using love and friendship and service to help them restart their lives here in the Akron area.
And why do you care about this? You were the founder.
Yeah.
Why is this something that...
Well, it all started for me. I used to live in California.
Okay.
And when I lived in California, I made some friends who were refugees there.
Okay.
And that's when I became aware of some of the unique struggles that refugees encounter when they resettle here in the United States. And so when we moved here to Akron, I discovered that Akron was a refugee city.
Yeah.
And so from that, I began to think, hey, what can, I also pastor a church, and I began to think, what can our church do to help these individuals? And so that's where it all started. It came from there.
Can you actually give, because I know, political season is coming up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, it's like a hot button topic to talk about refugees and immigrants, and unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
But could you just tell people, I feel like we just need some definitions.
Sure.
What is a refugee?
Yeah, so a refugee is someone who is invited to the United States. They never just show up. They are invited here. A refugee never walks into our country. They're flown here.
Yeah.
And so the president is the one that determines every year how many refugees can be resettled in the United States. And so those are primarily the individuals we are working with, and who Essa is the case manager of, these individuals who have been invited here, and then we help them restart. And so when you talk about an immigrant can get permission to come to the United States.
Right.
And so that's a very good thing. We also help immigrants when they arrive. And then, of course, we have asylum seekers. It's another category of a person who's coming to seek assistance from the United States in their journey. And, of course, we have what is called undocumented individuals. And unfortunately, what happens in the news today is they all get lumped together.
Exactly.
And actually, they're on 4 different paths.
Right. And that's why I thought it was very important for you to even just give some information. Because I think in this day and age, we need correct and clear information.
Yeah, it's getting really
there.
confusing out there.
It is. All right. So I want to go to you, Essa, and you have been here how long? How long have you been in the States for?
I've been here in the state almost 9 months.
9 months now.
Yeah.
And I want you to back up and just share, I know this is really hard, but the short version of your story of how you ended up here and then are working now with the International Welcome Center.
All right. Good question. Thank you.
Yeah.
The stories, of course, it's a long story for my life.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
long journey. I just start my journey as an interpreter or linguist assistant with the U.S. forces and as well with the coalition forces in Afghanistan.
Yes.
For the last 13 years. I've been served for the last 13 years down in Afghanistan with the U.S. troops. And then finally, the country got collapsed.
Yes.
There was no chance for being an interpreter and put your family in a really risk, and no chance to stay longer. And then we decided somehow to leave the country.
So 13 years in Afghanistan as an interpreter. Unfortunately, the country's government collapsed, and that's when you were able to come to the U.S., but you had to come through Germany. So share a little bit of that story.
Yep. So it was on May 31st. So I was able to get my visa approved by German government. They just evacuated us to Germany. So then we were stay there for about almost 2.5 or almost 3 years there.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that long. So you were in Germany for almost 3 years.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I was communicate with our advisor, Matt Carpenter. He was my direct supervisor, and he was helping me out to bring me out from Germany to America.
To the U.S.
To the U.S.
Okay. And one thing that's really cool and why I love that Issa's here today is that Issa's story is going to be shared in a much longer version at an event that's coming up.
Yep.
And he's going to be able to share not just for like 3 minutes, but he's going to be able to share for about 25 minutes at this event. So I want to encourage our audience, I'm looking directly at them right now, to come out to the event so you can hear the full story and I get to interview him, which I'm so thankful for. So Essa, now share, I know it's just, we're taking out so many details, but share, you ended up being able to come to the US from Germany after all of that and now work with the International Welcome Center. What is it like for you to have finally landed here and now be able to resettle refugees like yourself? What does that feel like for you?
Oh, feeling blessed, pleasure, and honor for being as a resettlement case manager. So to helping families welcome them to home, so to their home. So this is something like a blessed and amazing for me. So I was really like what I have treat with the welcome people here, and I learned how I should take care of other legal immigrants to come to America and help them and feel them like a welcome to their home.
Yes. So you were welcomed. You had someone really on your side, Matt Carpenter, who is also going to be sharing a little bit at this event as well. He shared his story at the Welcome Home event last year, and then we'll be sharing with Essa this year. But he made this feel like home for you, bringing you here.
Absolutely. So he was the one who decided. So we owe you, and we feel sorry for your country, what happened. So I want to bring you over and settle you and welcome you to your home, and then you're gonna ready to go whatever you're happy. So but by the time I just start up with a lot of, I would say, amazing career. So visit IWC International Welcome Center. So they give us such a great warm welcome.
Yeah.
So I would never forget that.
I love that. I love that now. So you got a warm welcome from the IWC, and now you're able to give that back to other people
Correct.
who are resettling their lives here in America. So how beautiful.
It is.
Can you share a story of someone that you've recently resettled?
Absolutely. So we've been visit a family from Colombia. So and we've been asking our volunteers and some of our directors, so Christina and our coordinator Kitlin and some other volunteers. We were all show up on the airport, and the family, they weren't really expected, and we have that sign, America, welcome to America, and we put their names, even we put their on their own language, like how we say welcome.
Yeah.
And that was blessed, and even the family was just start crying because they were just saying, oh my gosh, so we weren't really expected how we be treated. So that's
amazing.
the way that I had treated, and I learned how we should welcome legal immigrants and family to feel home here.
That's so beautiful.
And that was amazing.
That's really beautiful. And that's just one little story of what you guys do. And I know then you go beyond that and you help them to, integrate into the world. Cary, share a little bit about that, what you guys do beyond that.
Sure. So their first 90 days that they're here, we jump along beside them, helping them just get established, find a home, find a job, get their kids in school, make sure their paperwork is all in order so that they can get a good start on their path to citizenship. And then after those 90 days, we move into other services. We begin to focus on really helping them learn English, helping them learn how to drive, making sure their house is a home, and making sure they learn how to function here in this society.
Yeah.
And getting along with their neighbors and those kinds of things. And then and the landlords. The landlords are, working with
hard for someone who has lived in America their whole life.
Absolutely. So we help with that relationship, and then we have legal aid services that continue to walk along beside them. It's a 5-year process at a minimum for them to become a citizen. So we walk along beside them as long as we can to help them get there. And it's always exciting. to finally help someone and they reach that point that they become a citizen,
Yeah, I
and
can't-
to go
can't
to the
even imagine.
courthouse and be there in the judge with them. It's always exciting to celebrate that moment with them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check and see if this is true, but I saw on social media today that I think it's like National Citizenship Day or
Is it
something
really?
like that. So,
Oh, yeah. It may
which
be.
is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna talk about this event. And it is called Welcome Home, an evening of building a firm foundation.
Yeah.
And it is happening October 2nd, 6 to 9 p.m. at House 330.
Yes, very excited to be at House 330.
Yes. So right here in Akron, and we're glad that you chose Akron for your event.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and share with us a little bit more about what will go on at the event. And if someone's watching and they want to get involved, they want to support you guys, how can they do that?
Yeah, so, well, the best way to support is to come hear what we're doing.
Yes.
Come discover about the International Welcome Center. It's the best kept secret in Akron, in my opinion. But if you come, the event will allow you just a wonderful opportunity to hear about what's actually happening at the IWC.
Yes.
And the best way to get a ticket is to jump on our website, theiwc.org. Click on event tickets.
Yep,
and
it's
you're
pretty
good to
easy.
go.
I did it today,
Yeah.
just now.
It's easy to get there. And you'll hear Issa's story, along with some other stories. We're going to fill in a lot of the gaps on the things that are going on at the International Welcome Center. But Issa's story is so unique. For us, it's a God story
Yeah.
of how that unfolded and how that came to place. And we are so excited that he is here helping others. Now, he can empathize and connect with them in a way that is beyond what I could do or
Right.
or others could do. So we're just so excited that he's on the team and helping us with it. And to hear that story full circle, that's what's going to happen that evening. There'll be food. There'll be, and we're in the cabaret room. It's really cool. I don't know if
Yeah.
that in itself is.
I haven't seen the cabaret
yeah,
room, but that sounds fun.
It is, even where it is and the venue is
Okay.
amazing. So it'll just be a good evening.
Wonderful. And so again, they can go to iwc.org.
Yep.
They can get tickets there. They can also find more information about the organization
Yes.
there as well.
Yes.
Do you guys have social media?
We do. We're on Facebook, and you can follow us there. Just jump on the International Welcome Center of Akron, Ohio, and you get a lot of information there also.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Cary, for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank
you
you.
so much, Essa, for being here.
Of course, it was our pleasure. Thank you very much for having us here.
Yes, of course. And I'm looking forward to doing a little bit longer interview
Absolutely.
with you here shortly on October 2nd. So again, save the date for that. It's 6 to 9 p.m. You get some wonderful food at House 330, and then you get to learn more about the International Welcome Center as well. And make sure you stay tuned here on Good Morning Akron, because of course we've got more great stuff coming up next.